सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। Religion is the real entertainment for God because it's all much ado about nothing. What to do? Finite can never become infinite. Infinite can never become finite. Then what is there to do? So it's just a big entertainment to God. You can't blame him because he says, all of you are me. So you also enjoy. You are not getting enjoying. You are getting caught. I'm not responsible for that. I am not responsible for that. You are me only. And where is you? Where is me? I am only. You are not seeing yourself as me, and therefore your problem. Why you are not seeing yourself as the Lord? Because the Lord in him has forms not separate from him, not a creation, natural, like the waves and the bubbles in the ocean. Like the waves and the bubbles in the ocean. What all I am talking is nirmana moha jitasanga dosha. Right? So therefore, there is no creation at all. There is no you, there is no me. Mandukya says this because Sri Shankara, out of compassion to people, accepts a relative creation. A relative creation. But Gaudapada does not have. Where is creation? It's in his own nature to have forms in him, express, bring out, and take it in. There is no creation. Like the sea, like these things. Your dream, where is creation? So, when you focus out to the names and forms and get entangled into them, you suffer the samsar which is not there, the samsari who is not there. So the problem is completely a myth. But the Lord, out of compassion, gives a solution. Very simple. You are agitated. Just see the source of agitation. That's me. That's you. When you see the source of the solution, the wave subsides into the ocean. Manasantu kim margane kriti. Upadesharam, Sri Ramana Bhagavan says, when you try to inquire into the origin of the mind disappears. Right? So this reversing the process of confusing yourself which is called delusion, moha. And therefore, imagining yourself to be a limited entity, mama. Right? You are suffering things that are not there. Mudha. Right? Who is the Mudha? Bhagavatam, this title is given to Kamsa. Why? Kamsa in Bhagavatam represents ego. So who is the Mudha? One who has the ego. What is ego? To think that you are an individual with a form is ego. All others come after that. Your papa, punya, your mind, your intellect, all come first to accepting yourself as an individual with a body. That is called moha. One who has moha is called a moha. One who has moha is called a moha. How will you get out of that? Subside all the waves. How? See the cause. Origin. Adhyatma nitya vinavritta kama dvandvai vimuktaha sukadukta sanjaihi. Okay. And what a fool you are. You are bringing to security the man who is going to murder you. He is your security. Your glory, your godhood is taken away by these waves, agitations, kamas, and attachment. Vinivritta kamaha. Right? Vinivritta kamaha. Jitasanga doshaha. I have to put it in silent mode. Suddenly, the phone which will never ring up, on a wrong time it will ring up. Yeah. I think I put. Okay. So this is the essence of religion. Therefore, I'm not trying to do a preview of the chapter 15, but that is the introduction for all Vedanta. So, reversing the process of confusion is called religion. Religare. Religare. Coming back to your source. That's called religion. Right? Religare. And that is done through, many diseases. If you are poison, why vaccine itself is that? You already have that problem. Vaccine, which is only a particle of that, will prevent it. So also, your confusion, your superimposition, substitute it with another superimposition, vaccine. Right? You are now up to now been thinking, I'm so and so. Now you have to understand, you are Bhagavan. Isha vasya medagam sarvam. Isha vasya medagam sarvam. That's difficult. So what you do is, idagam sarvam all see in Isha. That is little easier. Isha vasya medagam sarvam is difficult. But see sarvam in Isha. That's relatively easy. But even then, not so easy. So they are given Ashwa. And then they are given fire. Then they are given prana. Because you are constantly breathing, so you can attune and feel the presence of prana and its role in your life. Because without prana supporting, you cannot either act or respond. Acting is prana, responding is apana. Right? So it is this prana that you can be constantly aware, and therefore pranopasana. Now all that is done. That will be compartmental. Ashwa, I know everything to explain, compartmental. Fire, I know everything to explain, compartmental. Prana, I know everything to explain, compartmental. You can't experience. everything intellectual, you can explain everything beautifully, but cannot experience. Therefore, Purusha Vida Brahmana. Make yourself the Ashwa. You have many qualities common to that. Right? Make yourself Ashwa. It's not uncommon in Hinduism. We do Anganyasa Karanyasa. That's it. Anganyasa Karanyasa is invoking God in you in every limb. Spoil the class 10 minutes. One more minute doesn't. 10 minutes you spoil the class. You were not there, my mood was not. Right? Okay. So through Anganyasa, Karanyasa, you invoke God in you. That's called Purusha Vida Brahmana. Right? Why this is also Purusha Vida? Why don't you call Purusha? Because everything is a bluff. He is Ashwa is a bluff. He is a fire is a bluff. He is Prana is a bluff. He is Purusha is also a bluff. Therefore, Purusha Vida Brahmana. Imagine him to be a Purusha. Imagine himself to be a Purusha. Kerala people listen. Because for Kerala people, Purusha means husband. Tamil, அது கொஞ்சம் டிஃப்ரெண்ட். கேரளாவுக்கு ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்கா புருஷன்னா ஹஸ்பண்ட். Right? So they listen. என்ன ஏன் நான் போய் காடு போய் என் புருஷனையா பார்க்கணும்? வேற ஏதாவது சொன்னீங்கன்னா பரவாயில்ல அப்படின்னு. See him as Purusha. What is Purusha? Puri Sayana iti Purusha. The one who lives in you. As how? Ego is the one. Ego is he. Abhasa Chaitanya. He is the witness. Kutastha Chaitanya. Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha. He is the one totally indifferent to both Purushottama. Right? He is the ego. He is the Kutastha. He is the Purushottama. All he is there doing simultaneous job. How can you do that? That is because you have not experienced. For me, 24 hours, even after I have broadcasted the entire world so that he will stop. He's not stopping, he's going on chat. So he can do several things. He can do several things. So he is doing these three. Why? How he can do several? Because he alone is there. Who else is there? All others are Brahma, Bhranti. Right? I didn't want to cut this joke, but today it is coming too much, but still I won't. Because at the moment I cut this joke, after that, when that is sung in prayer, all your mood will go. So I'm not going to do that. It's not correct. So she knows, because once I told her, right? Don't tell it. Because after that, people cannot focus that. In the joke, so, Purusha Vida Brahmana, Puri Shayanat, he is in you. As how? As the individual. As the one who enlivens and invigorates you. Utkramantam, Sthitam Bhagati, and all that. And then Sakshi, not involved. That's also your role. He is beyond the roles. Wherever there are different roles, the one who plays the different roles has to be different from the two different roles. Right? So, Purushottama. You, at each time, have to recognize him as the Duya, ego, as the one who supports all activity without getting involved, not worried, Utastha, as the one like in sleep, Purushottam. So that is Purushavoda Brahmana. This is easier for people than Ashra, fire, or this thing, because in them they have to see. Easier. Right? And in the process, they develop divine consciousness about themselves. They divinize their personality. After that, their erroneous egoistic activities will get reduced at least. Because they have divinized, they will get at least reduced, if not immediately eliminated. So that is one advantage. You divinize yourself. Second advantage is in this whole Upasana, Virat Purusha Upasana, you see everything to be God. The elephant, the mountains, the rivers, the oceans, everything are in him. Purusha Suktam, you can see. Right? Purusha Suktam, you can read and see. It's there in 11th chapter Gita also, same thing. It's there in the 15th chapter also, Ashwattham. So what happens? You don't need separate meditation. Even as I am saying this, my mind is becoming calm, because that is the truth. Just saying this, my mind is becoming beautiful. Right? You don't need separate meditation, because you have now seen everything to be God, everything in God, God in all. Therefore, when you go out, you stamp on the earth, you have reverence, this is God. When you use water, you have reverence, this is God. Right? When your servant comes, you may, transactional differences will be there, but you will have reverence. This is also God. God, out of love, coming to me to serve me as a servant, which is truth. Difficult to accept, but that's truth. Wherever you are getting any love from anybody, your family members, office, or anybody, understand all that love comes from God through those conduits. Right? So, after that is full-time meditation. Whatever you see is God. Whatever you see is God. Gurudev told Keshu's father, first man you see tomorrow morning, you prostrate. You open the door, saw the milkman, he prostrated. If people like us, Gurudev must have said as a joke, we'll take excuses. But Unni Nair is not a person to take that as a joke. Gurudev said, do. He did it to the milkman. Right? I wish I was one of them. It's great blessing to be born like that. Such devotion, such faith. Right? So that is this beauty of this Upasana. Whatever you see is God. Friend is God, enemy is God. You need the enemy for you. How will you conquer your mind without an enemy? Please tell me. How will you conquer your mind without an enemy? So enemy is your best friend in fact. So don't have bitterness. Do what you have to do, transactional life. You have to take him to court, take him to court. But have love for him. You have to take him to police station, take him. but have love for it. Don't have bitterness. This is the Purusha with the Brahmana. And then what is more beautiful in this, you can see clearly how you yourself, being God, switch roles. Sometimes you are confused, ego. Sometimes you are clear, knowledge, discrimination. Right? Sometimes you are just a witness. Sometimes you are indifferent. All this you can see in yourself. Right? So, outside full meditation, inside full meditation. And a man who has come to this is called Sarvatma Bhava. This is the highest in spiritual sadhana. Sarvatma Bhava is the highest. You have heard it everywhere in Gita. It comes after 5th chapter everywhere. Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. That's the beginning. After that, in the 6th chapter, when Bhagavan is concluding his discourse, Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam, Sarva Bhutani Chat Atmani, Ishavasya Upanishad. Yastu Sarvani Bhutani Atmani Eva Pashyati, Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam, Natato Vijukupsate. Everywhere the Sarvatma Bhava comes, but they are not said clearly because Bhagavatam alone can say it clearly. Bhagavatam says, once you get this Sarvatma Bhava, there is nothing for you to do. There is nothing for you to do. So that is Purusha with a Brahmana. See God in yourself. See yourself in all. See God in yourself. See yourself in God. This Puri Shayanat is one meaning I have given. For Bhagavan, inside you, is called Purusha. It's not man or woman. Bhagavan is inside women also. Purusha is neutral. Understand? It's neither man nor woman. That also comes in Bhagavatam. Neither man nor woman nor eunuch. It comes. Nashando. Right? That 18,000 verses is encyclopedia. There is nothing that is not discussed there. Your whole Brihadaranyaka is summarized in 2-3 verses there. And total clarity. Total clarity. Right? So, this Upasana is the best. What happens with this Upasana? What happens with this Upasana? Not only you see God in all, your agitations have gone. Agitations come because of the feeling of differences, thoughts. That's called mind. It's the mind that takes off your peace, your experience of your being. In sleep, mind is absent, you are Bhagavan, Sakshat Bhagavan, in sleep. Right? The mind is absent. It takes off your peace. What is mind? All this you can put it for 15 chapters. What is mind? That which divides like a prism. That a prism divides one ray into 7 colors. Mind does the same thing. The one being, it divides itself into innumerable forms. Friend, enemy, husband, wife, child, good, bad. Right? So this is the mind. So this mind, when you see all as God, where is the possibility of duality? Oh, So, if I see everything as God, I don't see the wall as wall. Somebody said this in study class when the first job I was given, assignment in Chinmaya Mission is, because nobody else would have done it, because I came new. So Bakra, they said, go visit all study groups and give a report. I did faithfully, Kasabiyanka. So there one man saying, a Gnani will walk through a wall. Because you see the wall also like that. You see? A scientist knows everything is electron, proton, neutron. Can you walk through the wall? But is truth different? Because there is one more element there, Kala, Desha. What is Kala, Desha? Mind. What is mind? Maya. So there is a relative reality. Reality is three. Pratibhasika, Vyavaharika, Paramarthika. Absolute reality, transactional reality, reflective reality. Absolute reality in sleep. Reflective reality in dream. Transactional reality in waking. Okay. Don't fight with me. You were going on dragging the classes. I never prepared this, what I'm telling you, though I made 30 drafts for every class. He talks, what am I to do? Who is the victim? I am the victim. You see, my attendance is falling. He is Saptarishi is constant. Paramananda Sishu. That's how. Okay. So, this mind is the problem. So, to know the mind, manage the mind, annihilate the mind is all religion. Done through seeing the source of the mind. Because mind is consciousness plus object. Once you turn the mind to the consciousness, consciousness becomes the object, and therefore mind becomes the conscious. Right? Mind becomes the conscious. So, Puri Shaina, I told you one. Another thing is Purnatvat, because the Purusha appears to be divided, but is ever the same. He takes the role of a Jiva. He takes the role of an Ishvara. He takes the role of an Hiranyagarbha. He takes the role of Virata. But he is never changed in the entire process. He only changes his shirt. The shirt also appears to you. He doesn't wear a shirt also. Because weather is very bad. Right? Different shirts he wears and he is called differently. Right? But he is complete in and through all that. Therefore, Purnatvat, Puri Shaina, Purnatvat. And one who was there in the beginning, Pura. Pura means the beginning. Therefore, Purusha. Therefore, Purusha. Okay. So this, therefore, is easier to meditate because it's in proximity, you only. Focus is not outside also. Feel his presence every time in you. As the Jiva, as the Kutastha, you can feel his presence. Also, It's much easier because, you are all ladies. When you write an essay or talk, God, you never say she. You will only say he. Even ladies will say only he, because that's how we are being used to it. That is how we have been used to it. So to see him as a human being, that's how we imagine God to be, sitting somewhere as Krishna, as Rama, human being. Understand? He is not a human being, he is not a nothing. But that's how you imagine. So it's easier for you to imagine him to be a Purusha. Right? He alone was there in the beginning. Right? And when he took up this jacket of the Virat Purusha, he first time sees the form. Form is finite. So therefore little insecurity. But fresh. So complete memory has not gone. Oh, I am there here. What is there to be afraid? Soham. Okay. What is there to be afraid? I am alone there. And then he gets, okay, I am alone there is okay. But I am bored. So I want a company. I want a company. Therefore he divides. Right? So that's how the creation goes. And you see here, because this is the best chapter for meditation. Sometimes he is confused. Sometimes he wants a company. Sometimes he says, I am the creation. I am the creation. Whom am I afraid of? Several things. So he plays the same rules in this. And therefore, best for meditation. Knowing that this God alone is everything. In me also. Sometimes I'm sattvic. Right? Majority of times, I'm rajasic. Right? All the time, I'm tamasic. Right? Again, how can you be majority of the time Rajatic, sometimes Sattvic, all the time Tamasic? Because the all majority Sattva Rajas is staying in Tamas, this body. Right? Sattva is intellect. Rajas is mind. Where does it rest? In your body, Tamas. Also, doesn't matter time, class, my audience drops, I don't care. God is making me speak every detail, I'll give you every detail. I do not care about what happens, right? Where does your world start? From sleep. In a way, it is tamas, though it is not tamas. In a way, it is tamas because the individual ego is at that time resting in tamas. Resting in tamas. After you get up only, from tamas only, everything, your waking dream, everything starts. The world itself, death, andham. Bhagavata says this. Two andhakaras. One andhakara is the light, another is death. Right? Creation starts with those two andhakaras. Death is andhakara. Death is andhakara. Ignorance. Ignorance is the father of creation. Ignorance is the father of creation. You don't know somebody, this is Gurudev's way of saying. You don't stop saying, I don't know him. I don't know him, but you don't know him, full stop. Why you should say but? You can't accept you don't know. So creation is that ignorance. Right? So this particular Purusha with the Brahmana makes you realize all possibilities are there in you. Be a witness. Recognize all these things are still finite. You are the one who is projecting them. You are different from them. You are not affected by them. You are different from them. You are projecting them. You are not affected by them. Fourth is over. I will now read out. There's one tricky thing that I will explain. That's what two things are there. I will explain, but they won't take much time. Enama?
Huh? You're different from them, projecting them, not affected.
Not affected. You are different from the dream world. You only projected the dream world. You are not affected by the dream world. Right? See, even partial understanding of these truths, just partial understanding of these truths, not understanding fully, not wanting to understand fully, not contemplating on them, even this, some thoughts here in their head makes a lot of difference in life. Atma eva idam agram asit. Purusha vidaha. In the beginning was only Atma. He was a Purusha like. In a Purusha form. Earlier, in many places it said, there was nothing before. Na kinchidasit. And now he says, Atma eva idam agra asit. Do you catch?
Yes.
In many places, here itself, in the previous chapter, he said, na kinchidasit. And now he says, Atma eva idam agra asit. What does it mean? Other than Atma, your names and forms were not there. That's what it means, na kinchidasit. Your names and forms were not there. The one non-dual Atman alone was there in the beginning. So, anuviksha nanyada atmano pashyati. So he saw everywhere and he saw himself to be everything. So, aham asmi tyagre vyaharat. He said, I alone am there. And that's why the word aham comes. It will tell here. I don't have to explain. Tato aham nama abhavat. That's how the word aham came. For everything, aham only. That also he will explain. I don't have to say. Beautiful, you know. He will give you every step. Tasmat api yetad aham mantrito aham ayam iti eva agra. Because I alone was there, whenever you want to say anything, you start with aham. Who are you? I am so and so. I am, you start. Because that alone was the thing that was there. Uktva, that is saying I, aham, uktva, cha anyanama, that is I am so and so. First you say aham, then anyanama prabhute, you say about your other name. Right? And this is why it is said, what is this word? Satyanrutam mithuni krutya. Satya, real. Anrutam, falsehood. Mithuni krutya, mingling together is the world that you see. Satya is God, I am. Mithini krutya, the name so and so. Satya anrutam mithini krutya. Prabhute yadasya bhavati sa yat purve asmat sarva asmat. He was there before all. Therefore, sarvotmatmanaha oshat tasmat purushaha. He is called Purusha because he was there before all and he has burnt all his evils. Where are evils in Bhagavan? This is not talking about Bhagavan, pure Bhagavan. This is talking about Virata Purusha. Virata Purusha was you and me. Had all the evils. Having burnt all of them, you become the Virata Purusha. Right? Oshatiha vai sa yo asmat purvo bhubhushati evam veda. He who knows us indeed burns one who wants to be before him. That is, you cannot overtake Virata Purusha because he is the first one to burn all the desires. And if you think you can overtake him, that you itself will be burnt. Right? Second. So, avibhet. Tasmad ekaki vibheti. There he said, I alone am there. Now he says, I am afraid. And then he himself says, Sa, I am Icha Chakre, Yen Mat Anyaha Nasti, there is no one other than me. Whom am I afraid? That's what I said. It's exactly our autobiography. Sometimes you say this, sometimes you say that. You understand? Tasmat Vibhemiti Tataha Eshasya Bhayam Viyaya Tasmat Dvayam Dvaye Bhetyate Dvitiya Dvai Bhayam Bhavati. When there is a second one, fear comes. When there is a second one, fear comes. Right? Only one is there, no fear. Right? And then what does he do? Very interesting. You should not do this in one class. You should enjoy the whole humor. He first said, I alone am there. Then he sees, he gets afraid. Then he says, nobody else. Why should I be afraid? Nobody else other than. Then what he does? I want somebody else. You see the joke. Do you able to see that? Yeah. I want somebody else. Because I'm happy. That's why somebody gave a beautiful statement. Should get married. After all, happiness is not the only goal. Right? And now he says, Savai, somebody can read because I'm having problems. Savai Naiva Reme, he did not enjoy. Amma, you can read, please read. Tasmad ekaki naramate. One never enjoys. So Dvitiya Aichate. Padigma. So
imam eva atmanam dvaiha patayat tataha patischa patni cha abhavatam tasmad idam ardha vrigalamiva sva iti hasma aha yajnavalkyastasmad ayam akashah striya मूर्यत एव तगुं समभवत ततो मनुष्या अजायन्त.
So he felt bored. Narayame. He felt bored. Narayame. And then he wanted a companion. Right? What did you do? Because he alone is there. Ahame Vedamagrasi. So from him he brought the second one. Why? How can he bring second one from him? Then he's dead or split. Because the whole thing is mind. Nothing is real. Whole thing is mind. In mind you can bring any number of things. He brought the second one from himself. This you have to connect it to the next verse, next verse, where he says, the created lady runs off. He says, he created me, I am his daughter, he is trying to unite with me. You understand? This, the English fellow read it somewhere and writes a book on that. Brahma created, ran after his daughter, right? Devil quoting the scriptures. Devil quoting the scriptures. He created from what? It's not a creation from a man and a woman, husband and a wife. He created from himself. It's completely mine. You are creating in your dream husband and wife. Both are your children. So how is my brother? How can he marry me? It's all your dream. You understand? It's all your dream. Even then, difficult for you to understand without Gopi statement. Because they only can make it very clear. Right? What do the Gopis say? See, they say politicians and all, after 70, they should not have post. I think after 70, you should not also teach. I'm not able to. Gopis. Bhavan tanubhrutam kila bandhuhu atma. He says, how can you leave your husbands, your children, your parents and run here? He says, don't try to cheat me. You are the only one in everybody. You are the only one. Bhavan tanubhrutam kila bandhuhu atma. You are the essence. Therefore, there is no duality. Understand? Duality doesn't come there. And here Virata is himself only, still not corrupted. So from himself he brings out. And this is said in Bhagavatam, there this guilt was not brought. Bhagavatam also, this is said, Shatarupa and Manu. Brought out from the same source. Prithu, same source. But there was no guilt because it was from him only he brought. There is no question of being born from the union of male and female. Understand? So that's very important. The creation is not real. Why? Because he himself said in the beginning, Ahameva yadamagra asid. There was no second one. So from me it has to come. It has to be mine because I cannot be cut. I cannot be cut. Tachedyoyam, adapyoyam, akledyo, soshai. Right? So, He divided himself, and it was like peanut, breaking it into two. Right? And there is a gap. That was filled. Right? Akasha. With the lady. With the lady. Now, Sa, Padima. Sa, He Miksham Chakre, Padima.
So, iyam, iyam, iyam,
Iche.
iksha chakre, आत्मन एव जनयित्वा संभवति हन्त तिरो असान् इति सा गौरभवद्कृपः इतरस्तागुं समेवाभवत् ततो गावः अजायन्त परवेतराः भवन् अश्व वृष इतर गर्धवीतराः गर्धव इतरस्तागुं समेवा अभवत् तत एकशपमजायत अजेतरा अभवत् वस्त इतरः अविरितरा मेष इतरस्तागुं समेवाभवत् ततो अजावयो अजायन्त एवमेव यदिदमभिरुच्य मिथुनम पिपीलिकाभ्यः तत्सर्वम् अस्मृगत.
So, he was alone there. He created this wife, decent. She started running after. This is natural. He now is incomplete. He wants to unite with Prakriti, trying to bring. Prakriti becomes Paranchikani, extrovert. It starts running off. He wants to unite. It wants to run off. Right? So this Prakriti Purusha Samyoga, only creation. It takes different forms. That lady goes and then it becomes hearts and all that. Finally, sheep. He should have started kind to us from sheep to man. But he starts from man to sheep. That's what you are. Started as a man, ended at right, ant. Started as a man, finally became a ant. And that's how aunties come. Right? He should have been more considerate. Start from ant, come to man. But he started as the man. This is the process of creation. Whose creation? Your own creation. You want several things. And you create in your mind several forms. Several forms. All are what? You plus the potential names and forms called Prakriti. You is the Purusha plus the potential possibility of names and called Prakriti. Prakriti Purusha Samyogaha. Kshetrajna. Right? So that's how the creation comes. Now, Saha Aved.
अवेद सृष्टि अस्मि अहगुम् इदं सर्वम् असृक्षीति ततः सृष्टिः अभवत् सृष्ट्याम् सृष्ट्याहम् अस्तु आस्य तस्यां भवति य एवं वेद.
Where is all this anti, Purusha, this thing? All are me only. I am the creation. Right? I am the creation. I think many times he is clear. Sometimes he gets intoxicated.
He got clarity in 5 months.
So now, sixth. Not necessary to read. You see, he has said from Purusha to ant. Now he says how we produce the gods. Like trying to rub your hands and all that, different gods are born also like that. Creation is explained, right? Now, he is trying to say in 7, what is this creation? How does he enter? How he becomes many? And therefore, what you have to do? Read 7. Before I forget, I have skipped that Pavamana Abhyaraha. Right, we'll see. You do that.
तन्नाम रूपाभ्याम् एव व्याक्रियत असौनाम् अयम् इदं रूपम् इति तदिदम् अप्येतर्हि नामरूपाभ्याम् एव व्याक्रियते असौ नाम अयम् इदं रूप इति स एष इह प्रविष्ट आनखाग्रेभ्यः यथा क्षुरधाने अवहितः स्यात् विश्वम्भरो वा विश्वम्भरकुलाये तं न पश्यति अकृत्स्नो हि सः प्राणन्य एव प्राणो नाम भवति वदन् वाक् पश्यश्चक्षुः शृण्वन् श्रोत्रम् अन्वानो मनः तान्यस्यै तानि कर्माणाम् अन्येव स यो अत एकैकम् उपासते न स वेद अकृत्स्नः हि एषः अत एकैकेन भवति आत्मेति एव उपासीत अत्र क्रियेते सर्वमेकं भवन्ति तदेतदिति पदं नियमस्य धर्मस्य यदयम् आत्मा अनेन एतत् सर्वं वेद यथा वै तेनानुविन्देदेवं कीर्तिं श्लोकं विन्दते यः एवं वेद.
So the crux word here, because this is one of the very important things, Atma eva upasita. Atma iti eva upasita. Atma iti eva upasita. This is called Vidya Sutra. This is called Vidya Sutra. The formula giving you the knowledge, Vidya Sutra. And Upasana, how you should do the Upasana, see everything as Atma. This Atma alone entered into each of the Upadi like the razor enters into its cover and become different because of the Upadis. And one who sees them in the Upadis thinks different, he is affected by the differences. One who sees all this is only he is freed from that. That's all this verse says. And here there's one doubt only. So enter into razoring enter into a cover. Therefore, two. No. There are no two. Any example has a limited purpose. Here it meant to tell you that he has entered into the Upadi. How did he enter? Again, Bhagavatam. Pravistaha, apravistaha, pravistavat. Apravistaha, not entered. Pravistavat, as though entered. That's all. The razor and the cover, right? So that is the whole thing. And a lot of pages, Bhagavan discusses the Purvapakshis. We do not need them, right? And then, why this Atma should be, you do Upasana, why it should be known? 8th, read the 8th one.
तदेतत् श्रेयः पुत्रात् श्रेयः इहात् श्रेयः अन्यस्मात् सर्वस्मात् अन्तरतरं यद् अयम् आत्मा सः यो यः अन्यमात्मानः प्रियं ब्रुवाणं भूयात् प्रियं रोत्स्यतीति ईश्वरोः तथैव स्यात् आत्मानम् एव प्रियम् उपासीत सः यः आत्मानम् एव प्रियम् उपासते न ह अस्य प्रियं रामायुक्तं भवति रामायुक्तं भवति.
Why you should do Atma Upasana? Because that alone is dear to everybody. Right? You like everything because of the Atma. Why? Because Atma is happiness. Atma is happiness. And therefore you want that. And that's yourself. You understand? Therefore you have to see everything as Atma, invoke Atma in everything. That is called Atma Upasana. Right? And 9.
Yeah, अस्मात् सर्वम् अभवति.
Yes. See, the whole purpose of this teaching is not for us to know the rituals, to know the upasanas. The whole purpose is to make us understand this entire religion, upasanas and all that are finite. So therefore, go to the infinite. Infinite to get through knowledge. Infinite to get to knowledge. This all, entire Ashwamedha, all comes in ignorance. Infinite is knowledge. To make us understand that you have to seek knowledge, all this is said so that you realize its futility. You realize its futility. All this is not worth it. I want only that. Who realized it? Dilipa. Indra stole his horse as usual. Dilipa asked, where is my horse? Because if anybody does 100 Ashwamedha yagas, he becomes Indra. So every 100th, this thing, Indra's job is to steal horses. Right? He stole. Dilip asked where? Indra. Ayyo, I am doing the Ashwamedhas to become Indra, to become a thief. I don't want this. I am doing Ashwamedhas to become Indra, to become a thief. I don't want this. So that type of realization to come, all this is described. You understand? So the 10th sloka talks about Brahma, everything is Brahman, and the Mahamantra comes here. Yes.
ब्रह्मवा इदम् अत्र आसीत् तदात्मानं एवावेत अहं ब्रह्मास्मि इति तस्मात् तत्सर्वम् अभवत् तद्यो यः देवानां प्रत्यबुध्यत सः एव तदभवत् तदर्शीनां तथा मनुष्याणां तद्वैतत् पश्यन् ऋषिर्वामदेवः प्रतिपेदे अहं मनुरभवं सूर्यश्चेति तदिदम् अपि एतत् तर्हि य एवं वेद अहं ब्रह्मास्मीति स इदं सर्वं भवति तस्य हन देवार्चना पूज्या ईशे आत्मा हि येषां स भवति अहं यो अन्यां देवताम् उपास्ते अन्य अस्मावन्यः अहम् अस्मीति न सः वेद यथा पशुः एवं स देवानां यथा वै बहवः पशवः मनुष्यं पुरुषुः एवमेकैकः पुरुषः देवानुभुलक्ति एकस्मिन्नेव पशवादीयं अप्रियं भवति ईयमाने अप्रियं भवति किमु बहुषु तस्मात् येषां तन्न प्रियम् यदेतत् मनुष्याः विदुः.
The Rishi Yagnavalkya thinks we have forgotten. Originally he said na kinchid agra asit. Then he said Atma eva idam agra asit. Now he says Brahma eva idam agra asit. You understand? That means what? Nothing else other than Atma was there. Who is Brahma? And therefore I am Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. That Mahamantra comes here. And I alone play the various roles. He who knows this, let him be Deva, let him be Rishi, let him be a human being. He becomes Brahman. Because he is Brahman. And not knowing Brahman, he was imagining himself to be the Rishi, to be the man, to be the Deva, etc. You understand? So this knowledge will make you realize, Aham Sarvam, all this is me. And one who doesn't know this and worships God, wanting this, wanting that, not knowing this is me, the gods give you what you want because the gods are also conditioned by hunger and death. They need food. That is why where prana pratishtha is done, you have to give naivedya. That's why Gurudev, in many temples where he suspected you may not have a purohit, he didn't do prana pratishtha. Because the moment you do prana pratishtha, they have to be given food. You understand? So the devas also, because Hiranyagarbha was hunger. Hiranyagarbha was death. Now I remember the two words. Tamisram, Andhatamisram. Darkness and blinding darkness. That's how the creation started. Tamisram, Andhatamisram. Right? Creation started with that. So, devas also want food. You take food there because they can give you some gifts. So they give you and you go and take there. And Gurudev says this somewhere. They don't give you. The moment you go to temple, you have offered, your mind becomes calm. You find a solution. Yeah? Right? So, what they do, because they need food, they go on giving you whatever you want because they don't want to miss you. How a man who has 100 goats would not like to miss one goat. He counts. He doesn't want to. Devas also don't want to miss you. இன்னைக்கு இங்க ஹேமச்சந்திரடு டெய்லி வந்துட்டு இருந்தாரு, வரது இல்லையா கோயிலுக்கு? Devas are counting. You understand? And therefore, better know this knowledge. Otherwise, you will be an animal. You will be an animal. அங்க சில பேர் அப்ஜெக்ட் பண்ணா, நான் I will be an animal இல்லை. So, next section, இங்க வந்து அகம் பிரம்மாஸ்மனை முடிச்சார். Next section, what about he has to say the futility of everything. What about this Varnashrama Dharma? He says he wanted for himself, right? Protect us. He produced Kshatriyas. People who produce Vaishyas, serve Shudras, people who think and advise Brahmanas, he produced. Because each time he was incomplete with one aspect. So he produced the four castes for him to be complete. And all of them were guided by their own dharmas and an interlinking dharma. Their own dharmas and an interlinking dharma. And all that, because every dharma is also subject to decreasing, all that is produced through these dharmas, Brahmana, Vaishya, and all that are also subject to change and decreasing. They're also finite. Go beyond them. Go beyond them. That is the subject matter till 10 to 17, close of the chapter. But there only one more topic comes, Pangtam. The whole rituals are 5 aspects. This man wanted to do the ritual wife. And together they need wealth. So the child. Right? And then they need to go to lokas. That's why they did it. So 3 Ishana Trayam, they are the lokas. Putrishana, Vitteshana, Lokeshana. You understand? So, there's one more, it's not important, so it doesn't matter, I'll conclude it. 5 aspects, Pangtam it's called. It's called Panktam, husband, wife, child, and one more thing is there. And then the Ishanatrayam. Huh? That's it. What there's one more. This 4 only you are telling. One more is there. 5. 5 Panktam. I'll tell you. Huh? She's good at Sanskrit, poor in mathematics. Fire, I think. Fire means, right? Fire, husband, wife, child is the well, and then the lokas. All this is finite. All this is finite. So, seek the infinite. When? Next also I will tell you one more range of finite in the foods next class, and conclude in the 6th, the whole world is name, form, and action. And you should be, by that time, convinced it's not worth. You need jnana. So 2nd chapter I will start. 2nd skanda I will start. When? Next class. Next class, Chavati is not there. So we will be doing probably on 25th of August, September. 25th of September will be the next class. At that time, we will take the foods, 7 types of foods, finish the 6th, and then take up because there's nothing much. I can take up the 2nd chapter next week. And you have to remind me. Why remind? I'll finish it now. It's only 2 sentences. One thing we left, that you invoke prana. You invoke prana with mantras. They are called Pavanama. Pavanama Abhyaroha. Pavamana Abhyaroha. Pavamana purifiers. Abhyaroha, they take you to ascendance. Abhyaroha, Pavamana. These Pavamanas, there are several mantras. There is a one Pavamana Sukta is also there. And Pavaka himself is called Pavaka. That very name is purifier, fire, right? So Pavamana Stotras, all connected to fire and all that. Abhyaroha. Abhyaroha is Asatoma Sadgamaya. From untruth to truth, you lead me. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. From darkness, you lead me to light. Mrityoma Amritungamaya. From death, you take me to this prayer you do. And once you do this prayer, that Virata Purusha by that time also has through karma and contemplation become pure, and he has all the powers to bless you. You can, you should at that time, the karta, you are the karta. You are the karta. The purohit who chants, he gets the powers. First 3 chants are all for all, everybody. The next 7, these things, because it said there, he keeps the best for himself. Yeah, he keeps the best for himself. At that time, he gets the powers. You ask him whatever boon you want, he will give you. That's all the Asatoma Jyotama. So I have finished up to 4. And 5, 6, and 2nd chapter I shall do next week. After that, only 3 more. So maximum another 5, 6 classes I'll be concluding. Right? Vanga sir. Hari Om, Hari Om.